This is your Daily 10. Calculator Video 12. Make sure you pause the video and attempt each question before you actually watch the solution. Here's your first question. So here we need to use index laws to try and find out what power of 5 this is equivalent to. Well, the two rules that we need to remember here: when we are dividing, as long as the number at the bottom, the base number, is the same, when dividing we subtract the powers, so we'd need to do 12 take away 3. When multiplying we would add the powers, so here we would need to add 2 onto that. Well, 12 take away 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11, so it would be 5 to the power of 11. Here's your next question. So this is a right angle triangle. We've been given 2 of the sides and we're being asked to find the angle here. As soon as you see a right angle triangle, sides, and an angle that we're looking for, that tells me this is going to be basic trigonometry. So it's a good idea at this point to write down your SOHCAHTOA. First step after that is to label up the sides that we're given. So if this is the angle X, this is the angle we're interested in, this side here would be labelled up as A because it's just next to the angle, and this is H, the hypotenuse. That's always the one that is not touching the right angle. Well, A and H are linked with cos. Now because it's the angle that we're looking for, we always do cos to the minus 1 when we're looking for an angle, or sin to the minus 1 or tan to the minus 1 depending on the sides. When you've done cos to the minus 1 in your brackets, we would then do A, which is 8, over H, which is 11, and we'd work that out. So if you take your calculator, you'd need to do shift and cos, or second function and cos, to get the little cos to the minus 1. We're then going to do 8 over 11, and that gives us that we've got an angle of 43.34. Here's your next question, following on from the trigonometry in the last question. So for this, we're now looking for a missing side. We're going to do the exact same thing. I know it's still trigonometry because again we've got sides and an angle. So if this is the angle we're interested in now, this side here is next to the angle, so we'd label up as adjacent. The one that we're looking for down at the bottom is opposite, so we'll label it up as opposite. O and A, if you remember from the list before, O and A are linked with tan. So here, because we're looking for a side, we are going to write down tan of 40 is equal to the opposite side divided by the adjacent. Now the adjacent is 37, so we'd get that. Now in order to find out what this opposite side is, I'm going to get rid of this divide by 37 by timesing both sides by 37. So we get 37 times tan 40 will give us our opposite side, which, if we again take a calculator, 37 times tan of 40, and this gives us an answer of 31.04 or 31.05 if we round. And there's our answer to the 2 trigonometry questions. Here's your final question. So here we've got a question clearly that's linking ratios along with a bit of algebraic work. Now it's quite early on in the paper, according to this one, so it isn't going to be something that's too complex before you start worrying. So the first thing I notice is that AB to BC, this little ratio here, is in the ratio 1 to 2. Now that tells me that BC, the line from B to C, is double the length of A to B. So we've got that this line down here is double this line here. So I'm going to start by writing that into a little equation. So we've got that AB, if we were to double that, so do 2 lots of 3x minus 9, that would now be the same as BC, so 5x minus 11. I'm going to leave AC for now, we'll come back to using that a little bit later. With 2 times 3x, that's 6x, 2 times minus 9, that's minus 18. What we've actually got here is an equation with letters on both sides. In order to solve equations like this, what we need to do is make it so that the letter x only appears on one side. So in order to do that, I'm going to take 5x away from this side, so on the right, leaving minus 11. Just be careful to keep the minus in your answer. And on the left hand side, if we take 5x away from here, we get x minus 18. At this point, to try and find out what x is, I'd have to do the opposite of minus 18, which of course is add 18. So we would get that x is equal minus 11 add 18, that would take us to 7. Now the reason that I've done this is now I can work out how long each of the sides actually is without having to use the algebra. If x is 7, that means for this side 3x minus 9. So 3 times 7 minus 9. 3 times 7 is 21. Take away 9 is 12. So this side here is 12 centimetres long. At the bottom, 5x minus 11. Well, that would mean I'd need to do 5 times 7, which is 35. Take away 11. 35 take away 11 is 24. This side here, 2x plus 4, well that's 2 times 7 plus 4, which is 18. The second line says show that AC, so this line here, to BC, this line at the bottom, is in the ratio 3 to 4. Well, if we write down a little bit further down the page, AC to BC, AC, look, was 18, BC is 24. Well, if I get a ratio that looks like this, 18 to 24, if I now simplify that, so both of these numbers here, I can divide by 6 to give me 3, and 24 divided by 6 would be 4. So actually what we've done here is we've shown that AC to BC is the ratio 3 to 4, as we wanted to try and do.